Sometimes movies that are not that good have an obscene high rating by the general public. In this new movie, The Holdovers is no exception to the rule. Naturally, I can't understand that people may like the movie because it is heartwarming and what may be a little kind of story where you sympathize with the characters involved. Like in Champions, that basketball movie with Woody Harrelson that coaches a basketball team with disabilities. The problem is, of course, in this one, that's really all there is to the story. There's no real entertainment or an attempt to build on this heartwarming approach with too many other elements. Neither Paul Giamatti, Davide Joy Randolph, or Dominic Sessa impress in this movie, but you just feel they have chosen it to fit a very narrow audience because it only seems mostly like a youth or family movie, and not a movie that appeals to, for instance, younger adults or other age groups. It is supposed to be a drama movie, combined with some comedy elements, but the comedy in this one is few and far between, and although they do try to force it in sometimes, it feels unnatural, and the movie tries more to deliver a somber mood rather than a joyous one. The goal for the makers of this movie is one goal only, and one goal only, and that's to sympathize with this strange history teacher, which is the strange teacher at school that has to have a holdover for kids that basically have no place to go on Christmas, and also to sympathize with this Angus kid, who really is not liked by his mother and comes from a rich family that does not really seem to care about him and won't allow him to see his real dad. Of course, it is awkward by the ending after he sees his real dad when his mother and stepfather show up at school, but that's neither a situation that's made in a funny way. I think the movie would have benefited from being more in a comedy direction because the concept of these kids being on a holdover because they don't have a place to go during the Christmas break is an interesting one, but it is not done in the way it should have been. I get that these kids are supposed to be strange ones, and yes they are, but there are not really a lot of crazy things going on at this holdover place, which is the direction I would have preferred in the movie. Instead, you quickly learn it is all about Angus, the history teacher, and the cafeteria lady, who very early in the movie are the only ones left on the holdover place. That's also the biggest problem. The characters are just totally off, and although maybe some of them could have been real characters, they are just not the ones to entertain you. It is all about bonding, finding common ground, and the story is just way too emotional in my opinion. That's why it is easily the worst movie this year alongside Operation Fortune and probably one of the most overrated movies ever made. The approach in this one is also a little too easy. We often do music montages as you play the scenes where it does not really happen a lot, but that's a special way to make a movie maybe that some people may like, but that's also something that really don't work the way I see it. Compared to thriller movies where they use music to make the movies more intense, maybe the approach here is to use the music to make a warm atmosphere, but it really does not help the entertainment. The way I see it, there are a lot more entertaining movies out there, and those with higher ratings, of course they can still be good, like such is the case with Oppenheimer or Django Unchained. But this one is one I'm very shocked by that it is rated that high because it really does not deserve it.